Hello. That's so funny. I was like, I'm going to do a video here about why the law of attraction does work and why it doesn't work, and I haven't even done the title, and I am live, so you know what? I think this is meant to go out. And it's important because for those of you who don't know, I have got a new online course going live at the end of this month called Co-Creation Success, and it's really about understanding the law of attraction, but also how and why it doesn't work on its own, depending on what you actually do understand about it and don't understand about it. So if you want to know more about that, check the link attached. Otherwise, let's just go through this. So why does the law of attraction not work as we know it? Well, the law of attraction, as popularized by The Secret and as popularized by lots of new agey kind of stuff, it's like, oh, think happy thoughts, focus on affirmations and do your japa and condition your mind and everything will change around you. And it is true, if you change your view of the world around you changes, but just saying affirmations is not going to change your fortune. It's not going to change your relationship status, or it's not going to change your financial status, your health, or anything like that. Because when you do set course on an intention, a place that you actually want to go, the resistance to it is going to show up. And if you don't deal with that resistance, you are never going to be able to shift your vibration so that what you are emitting, what you are radiating, can then be reflected back to you. So you magnetize to you that which you want. And I think it's very helpful to just understand that the subconscious is our inherited programming, okay? That is something that we are programmed with from our time in the womb through to the first 7 years of life, but we're still continually programmed. We're programmed through school and peer pressure and teenhood pressure, and then we're programmed by the media, and we're programmed by our work, environment. We're programmed the whole time because we want to fit in, we want to belong. Even if we don't want to belong, we want to belong to something else, just not that. So there's a lot of interesting things going on, but the conscious mind, which is what you would make your affirmations with and what you would focus on positive things with, is only in control 5% of the time. The rest of the time, it's your subconscious programming that is basically influencing your thought processes. So the thoughts you think, the personality that you have, the way you show up in the world, all these things that define you as you think you are really just how you've learned to be to survive this world. And if you want to have a different outer experience, then the inner landscape has to change. And for that inner landscape to change, there is work involved. So one of the things that is important to help the law of attraction to work is, as we said, to deal with the resistance. So let's just say, as an example, that you want something and it doesn't want you, or two examples. So one, let's say that you are being doubted when you are really trying to convince someone or something that you are worthy of what you're putting forward. Then you would say, well, I'm saying my I am statements, I'm bigging myself up, but I'm still being doubted by the outside. So take this in a little bit and look at the fact that if that's happening, then there is a bit of you that is doubting the truth that you are spouting. There is a bit of you that is doubting the way that you're showing up. And it's actually then allowing yourself to feel those feelings and why they are there. The stories don't matter so much, but if you are experiencing doubt externally, then it's something that is being projected from the inside. So feel the doubt. That's when going into feeling things is important. And this is, again, a question that comes up regarding the law of attraction, is really, okay, do I just focus on happy stuff all the time, or do I do all the shadow work in order to create the space for what I do want? The shadow work will come by virtue of you aligning with what you want. So it is important to do the shadow work, but not to go looking for it before you've set your intention, because all you'll find is stuff to clear, and it's never really very easy to do that. Because we're infinite souls, our souls are infinite, our bodies are eternal. Thank you to someone who said that to me once. And basically, so you've got endless stuff to deal with, babe, and you're not here in this lifetime to deal with it all. You're here to deal with the stuff that you feel passionately about, and by feeling passionate about it, you're then driven to deal with the challenges that arise as you go about wanting to create this. So another example would be one of forgiveness. Let's say that you're not being forgiven on the outside. Well, then there is again an understanding that you are not forgiving yourself for something, for whatever is there inside of you that is mirroring the external. So always the external is mirroring the internal. We can get really caught up in doing things all of the time to actually create the new picture that we want, to create the new vision that we want. But there is as much value in actually just being receptive and feeling what is coming up. If you're not feeling inspired to act, and you would be acting just out of acting's sake, which is the masculine, it's what we've been programmed to do, you know, to do, we value that. And again, think of this in terms of law of attraction. In order for you to have what you want, some of the conditioning will be is that you have to gung-ho go for it all of the time. And if you do that, you're never creating the space for it to actually come back. Hello, Ingrid. So some of my most sort of successful manifestations have come from me letting something go. And that is a part of the process of co-creation. That is part of the process of the law of attraction actually working, is you have to stop obsessing about it. So you have to know when to act and to take the action that is necessary and to push through and to stand up for something, because it's strongly there and present and important to work through. And there are other times when you're not feeling the impetus and the drive to move forward, that it's more of an inner work that needs to be done. When we go into feeling our feelings, where again we get trapped and the law of attraction doesn't work, because this is all part of a process of law of attraction, is actually in the fact that we get caught in the stories. We get caught up in the, oh, and then this happened, and then, oh, and it was so awful, and I forgot that one, oh my God, it was just the same as this one. And then you're looking for the patterns of why you keep creating this. And just by virtue of the fact that you're looking for those patterns, holy Moses, you find them. And oh my goodness, it's so obvious you've been doing the same thing forever and ever and ever, but you haven't. You've just got that filter on that says this is connected to this, to this, to this. They're all the same. And then others keep you in that as well. So the law of attraction, everybody's operating either consciously or subconsciously and attracting what's going on in their life. And those who are trying to do it consciously are going to be meeting the unconscious programming and the unconscious attraction of others, as well as their own conscious desire for something different. And so what will come up is the programming again. So what do? Well, understand that the law of attraction is more complex than it's put forward. It's not just what you focus on grows. There are other elements in co-creating your reality. And one of the things to remember with that is that who are you co-creating with? And that will be another video. But it's not just you and what you want, there's everything around you as well, and it all has its own agenda, whether it's conscious or not. So for you to be able to shift your vibration in such a way that things really do change on the outside, they have to change on the inside and be able to be maintained. And that's you anchoring your light, that's you being able to be receptive to your own inner counsel, even when on the outside it hasn't shown up yet. But when you do the work, you do the work when something's come up that you know needs to be felt. And when you feel it, you don't go into the story, you just let yourself feel the feeling. You can say, oh, this is sadness, oh, this is jealousy, oh, this is anger. And I'll tell you one thing, I'm really bloody intuitive, okay? I'm really good at my job. But when fear has actually stepped in and I'm projecting a fear of something, or I have a subconscious fear of something, it throws me off completely. And I can be absolutely certain of something that isn't happening at all. So again, understanding the law of attraction requires you to understand a little bit more of the back end of your website. So it's not the veneer, it's what's going on at the back end. And when you actually take that on board and you're like, okay, there are some programming errors in the coding here that I need to go and fix, and you will. You want to create something, it will tell you the errors that are there. So you deal with them, and also at some point you just have to let it go, and you have to trust that you've lined up with it. You've set an intention, you've lined up with it, you've met your own resistance, you're committed to meeting your own resistance, and then from there you're then able to move forward and see the shifts that are occurring. There were a couple of other points. Let's just see if I've actually got them all. Feelings, yeah. So I talked about radiating what you want to attract. Inspired action versus action just for acting's sake. You don't want to be acting for acting's sake, and that's it. Sometimes we can be so focused on wanting to manifest something that we're just looking at it, and it's like waiting for the kettle to boil. It's just not going to happen, okay? Like, you have to give it some space, and you also have to trust yourself that what you have created is actually, hey Mason, nice to see you, that you have created something, that you have actually nurtured it, that you believe you deserve it, because a lot of this is worthiness, deserving and allowing issues, and that's all the subconscious again. So just just allow, you know, the law of allowing, the law of deliberate creation, the law of attraction, those are just 3 laws. Abraham Hicks started talking about them years ago. There are infinite spiritual laws, there are so many, but they are founded on the idea that you take absolute responsibility for how you're showing up. And with that absolute responsibility means self-care, self-nurture. It's not just about the stick that you beat yourself with. In fact, it's not the stick that you beat yourself with that's going to help you work with the law of attraction in a positive way, because if that's what you do, that's what you'll get more of. So yes, what you focus on grows. That's an element of the law of attraction. But also there are other things underneath that are getting you to focus on things in a certain way that can be preventing you from actually bringing in what you want. So remember that's the sort of gremlin-y bit. And I think beyond that, it's really kind of understanding that it's really your vibrational shift that needs to happen. Well, okay, Mason, you say manifesting world peace, not riches, beautifully spoken. Thank you very much. I mean, world peace, abundance, prosperity, everybody on this planet having their needs met. If there is the belief that there's enough for everyone, there is enough for everyone. But again, notice what you are attracting. Notice what your ideals are and notice what you're attracting. Do you have ideals but it feels like life is shitting on you all the time? Well, if you're living a good life, you're living the life that you feel is in alignment with what you believe, and life is still shitting on you all the time, you need to challenge those beliefs, okay? Because those beliefs that maybe you want to live by maybe aren't quite what you need to align with. Maybe there's something that's a little bit different. Anyway, I know everybody will hear what they need to hear and what they want to hear to help them on their journey with the law of attraction. But for me, it's all about fine-tuning, learning when to move forward, when to step back, learning when to take a broader perspective, learning when to focus in and direct. And all of that is like reading the weather report. You've just got to know that when it's raining, you don't put the blinking washing out, do you? But when it's sunny, that's when you do it. So again, working out which tools you use, when to use them, will help you with that. So I hope you found that useful. Lots of love, share the love, and if you're interested in co-creation success, the link will be posted shortly. Namaste.